Well, joining us now in the studio with more is Manu Teredios from our Spanish service. A really difficult, horrible story, this landslide. And as we just mentioned there, 2 people still missing, expected to be confirmed dead. Big questions about who's responsible for the tragedy. Can you shed any light on that?
Buenos dias. Good morning, Rosie. This is the big question of one of the big questions. The problem of what we see is that rather than finding an answer to that, what we are seeing is actually an answer from everybody involved, which is, it was not me. These facilities were managed by a private company, which is called Verter Recycling 2002. And there was a test, there was an exam by the public authorities last summer. This exam was published in November, and actually they gave these facilities the lowest score. So this is not just a question of private management. It's okay, politicians knew that it was not being handled properly, so now we go to the next step. So why the government didn't do anything, or the regional government? Their answer is that they were about to start a procedure to impose some sanctions to this company. So obviously that has made the opposition to jump into them. So for the moment, it's not very clear who is responsible, or at least those who should be sharing the responsibility are not willing to accept that.
What about people living in the local area? We heard from one gentleman, he said he can feel it in his throat. Do we know what kind of risk they're at, if at all? Yeah, we're speaking about 45,000 people living in different towns around the area. The risks are there. Authorities have said it's not necessary to walk around with a mask like we've seen with the coronavirus. But there are some measures that has been announced, and they're not going to keep these people calm. For example, they have said you should not practice sports outdoors if you are going to do it around. And another one is, please try not to open very often the windows if you're at home. So imagine that when you are at home, Rosie, which are supposed to feel safe, authorities are saying, don't worry, you don't need to wear a mask. But if you're at home, do not open the windows. They've been also advised of not to consume local products if they come from the area. So obviously people are not very calm about what's going on. And so what's happening next?
Well, we will see. First, it's to clean everything. But going further than that, it's complicated now, because as we've seen, there are elections coming the 5th of April. So for now, the regional government or the regional parliament, it's not working as it should be. There is just some kind of temporary commission who is dealing with the day by day. So no measures are going to be taken. And in addition to that, we have the fact that the elections are coming. So the opposition is hitting hard with it to the current regional government. So any kind of agreement is not going to be easy. So we will see, because it's clear what's need to be done. Clean up everything, check that the people involved and the people who were at risk are fine. But in terms of the institutions, it's going to be difficult to find agreements and to keep on working properly.
Manu, thank you very much. Of course, we're going to be following this story.
Always a pleasure.